Quick question. Why is gay dad fashion either sad hoodie or pride once a year?
Well, thankfully, Gaddies exists because they understand that gay dads deserve clothes that say, I'm nurturing, I'm exhausted, and still hot.
Gaddies was started by a gay dad who looked around and said, why do straight dads get all the bad graphic tees?
They make hats, tees, hoodies to let the world know that you're a dad, but like a hot gay one.
David, you literally will not take off your Yes Gaddy hat.
Yeah, but you're weirdly committed to your caught in a dad romance t-shirt, like emotionally and spiritually.
I own it. It's perfect for school pickup, play dates, or explaining to strangers why your kid has two dads and better outfits than they do.
Gaytriarchs listeners get 20% off with code GAY20. That's GAY20.
Dressed like the Gaytriarch you are, or at least the one you used to be before bedtime was at 8.
Go to heygaddies.com. That's HEYGADDIES.com.
Say that again? What were you saying?
So,
Well, you said, what was the Christmas tree? You said the Christmas tree was in honor of not Christmas, but what was it?
a man who was the first African American to have a white wife. It was in segregation. It was when Martin Luther King Jr., Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., MLK, was a little tiny baby. And so now we celebrate him because of family and friends.
And this is Gaytriarchs.
So I'm not vindictive with my kids, but my daughter received a baby doll for her birthday. She just recently turned 4. No, it's not my something great. No, it's not.
Wait a minute.
Yes, she's 4.
Hasn't she been 4 for
she's been
3.5 years?
Yeah. But she received a baby doll, and it's one of these baby dolls that does stuff. It cries, it kind of moves its arms and legs. It does a bunch of things. And then you put the pacifier in her mouth, it stops crying, but then it giggles. There's a whole bunch of things it does. Can I tell you how much joy I felt when the baby was crying and crying and crying, and my daughter put the pacifier in its mouth, which normally stops it from crying, and it wouldn't stop crying. And my daughter started getting more and more annoyed, and she blurted out, "Why is she crying when she has a pacifier in her mouth?" And the pure joy that filled my system to say, see what it feels like to a 4-year-old.
How did she I imagine the irony was lost, but
Totally.
but did
she's a child. I'm gaslighting a child, Gavin, is the story.
100%.
But it really was hilarious that she was like, I put the pacifier in the mouth. Why is it not crying? I was like, girl, I don't get it either. But,
were you alone, or did you at least?
Oh no.
Did you and Brian, were you able to have a moment together to be like, oh my God, that was priceless kind of thing?
Oh, everybody. My mom was here. It was like a group event. It was lovely. It was absolutely hilarious. And again, I don't wish my kids stress, but it is nice to see them going through what I went through. Basically, I'm saying pass down your trauma to your children.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if we have to go through it, so it's so gratifying when in 25 years, hopefully they will have gone through enough therapy that they paid for themselves, that they come back to us and say, wow, you did a really good job. I'm sorry I was such a pain in the ass, right?
If I have to walk uphill to school both ways, you have to walk up school to both ways. But something else which was hilarious that I experienced with my child this weekend is my son has gotten in the habit of, as I'm laying him down for bed, he wants to know facts. He's like, tell me a fact about something. And we'll say, oh, volcanoes, blah, blah, blah. Well, the other day, my husband told my son about Amelia Earhart and how she was flying across the world and she disappeared and nobody really knows what happened. My son was up all night worrying about it. He got up at 5 a.m. He came in teary-eyed saying, I'm worried about Amelia Earhart. I'm worried about where she is. Why isn't somebody looking for her? This story of Amelia Earhart has kept him up in a way that a lot of things haven't. And I don't know what to say to him other than, yeah, she's lost. She probably died in a plane crash. But like it is amazing how this has kept him up. And he's demanded facts every night. So, listener, I'm putting it out there to you. Tell me some facts that are 6-year-old approved that will not keep him up at night. Not like we're all going to die alone. I don't want him to know that yet.
And can distract him from Amelia Earhart for a little bit to give you a break from poor Amelia, huh? Or from poor you.
Yeah. I mean, when I tell you every day he comes home from school and he's like, so Amelia's plane wasn't found? Like he's been processing this for days.
Mm-hmm. The obsession with Amelia Earhart is like the most classic and quintessential conspiracy theory, right? And don't you feel like you went through a phase, maybe a weekend when you were, well, maybe not 6, but when you were 13 and thought, wait a minute, maybe not 13 either, but whatever. And really obsessing over it. I mean,
oh yeah, I love a good conspiracy theory. I mean, it's a mystery. It's dramatic. It's mysterious. It's no. I mean, I remember as a kid being obsessed with the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. What happened to the Bermuda Triangle, by the way? You do not hear. I grew up thinking I was going to be learning a lot more about the Bermuda Triangle as I got older, but.
Yeah. I just remember being on a cruise ship and over the loudspeaker, the captain's like, we're going through the Bermuda Triangle right now, blah, blah, blah. And I remember looking over at the water and just waiting for the inevitable giant squid or whatever to come up and pull the boat down.
And swallow you down.
Yeah. So I guess Amelia Earhart is his Bermuda Triangle. Your
recent Disney cruise did not go through the Bermuda Triangle, I'm assuming?
I think we did, actually. Went from Port Canaveral to Nassau to Castaway Cay. Yeah, we had to have. So I just don't think it's a thing anymore. It's like quicksand. It's like, we don't talk about it anymore. It used to be a big deal. It's not anymore.
At our age, or because it's not TikTok worthy, so nobody, or we're just not going down the right rabbit holes?
Gavin, the collective pronoun our when referring to age was unappreciated. You are my elder and I respect you.
Well, speaking of things that should be respected and appreciated, was not my daughter. We have been going through... It just occurred to me this morning, I learned a little more about her morning routine because we are in the midst of midterm tests for a freshman in high school. And it has been a very big deal. And she's been focused. I mean, I can't say this is good stress in the house. I was up late last night with her drilling Spanish conjugations, which, by the way, the difference between presente, and what's the other one? Preterite? I'm like, what? Oh my God, this is just so
And
much
also there's
memorization.
multiple forms of past tense. It's not just, there's past tense and present tense and future tense. There's multiple of each.
I know. It is rough. And when she was, starting to melt down, I'm like, you know what? If it makes you feel any better, this is just really tough stuff that you have to memorize. Anyway, so this morning, theoretically, we were going to get up and study some more. And then, so I popped my head in and she is putting mascara on and she says, what? I am on my last step. But on her phone is some making cookie dough ASMR cooking videos, and I was reminded all the more how she, oh my God, is this venturing into what would you do land of like kids these days? She has TikTok going on in front of her while she's putting makeup on. Now, we are not late to school. Shocker, I know. And we tend to have actually pretty calm mornings. So I kind of am just like choosing my own battles, right? Like it isn't causing a problem in the morning, but she came down because she needed a pair of socks or something. And she just had her phone in front of her face as she's walking around the house looking for the socks, blaming me for not folding the socks soon enough. It's just a just you wait, David situation. It is a just you wait situation of like, how these kids function constantly with the phone in their face. And yet we put limits, like she's using up her TikTok time this morning. Anyway, I don't know. Are you just waiting for me to shut up or are you thinking this is going to be a terrible parenting or?
Gavin, I am consistently waiting for you to finish, waiting for you to get to the point, waiting for you to record, waiting for you to buy a new computer. I'm waiting a lot. No, I am in that area where I can remove the screen from my children's lives very easily. You're in a phase where you can't do it as easily and as kind of pain-free as I can. But yeah. I know it will be a challenge. I know I will give in when I don't want to. And I know it's better to not have screens than to have. But in practice, it's impossible.
I mean, once that seal is broken, and boy, the level of negotiation to take it out. Anyway, I just watching my kid walk around like a zombie with her phone in front of her face, but still being productive, weirdly enough, at a time that she doesn't need to focus. She's just putting makeup on. Like, I get it, but oh my God, kids these days, right? And I know that my generation, not yours, will be looked upon.
The youthfulness in your voice, my generation, the back in my day.
Will be, no. What I mean is my generation currently of parenting, of say an early teen, we're going to be seen as the scourge of the earth in a few years, where we're like, you did what? I know my daughter's going to say, why did you let me do that?
Yeah.
And
when there's like some sort of scientific study that comes out that says being on your phone that much is worse than cancer, and you're like, why would you do that to me, Dad? Yeah. You're like, I didn't know.
I think those studies are already out, but
but it's also like, you know, our parents driving around smoking with the windows up, like they didn't fucking know. You know what I mean? They weren't trying to be destructive to us. They just didn't fucking know.
Well, listener, because David got to ask you about facts and factoids that can help his kids sleep at night. Listener, tell me what I should do. It's functional alcoholism. It's functional social media addiction, you know?
Yeah. I am going to bring back an old topic because it is absolutely my obsession. And if people have ever listened to this podcast, any listener will know, I am obsessed with this. And I feel like I'm figuring it out. I feel like as I'm live talking about it, I'm figuring it out. And what it is this fucking chasm between parents of young children and parents of older children saying, you're gonna miss it, right? This like, oh man, I wish I could go back. You think it's great, but you're gonna miss these days. Hold on to them while you can, mama. Like all of that bullshit. I fucking hate it. And I think about it all the time. And I really am trying to figure it out because I feel like there's a solution here. This is why
also, you're in the middle of it still. You're not too old and not too young. So you're standing there above all of us being like, all of y'all are intolerable. So I have the solution.
But I think the reason I'm looking for a solution is like from my point of view with children, with these young children and kind of feeling like I'm drowning. When I hear that shit, I want to strangle you. But I understand also from an older parent's point of view why you would say that. So I think I've figured it out. And you tell me if I'm right or not.
I can't wait.
Okay. So most of the time, I think I attribute parents saying that to I'm not drowning in it anymore. So a little bit of it would be nice. It's my cake analogy from last year where I was saying, like, if all you did was eat cake all day, eat cake, by week 3, you're going to be like, if I have one more piece of cake, I'm going to kill myself.
By
and
week
then somebody who hasn't had cake in 15 years is like, you're going to miss that cake. Yeah. I wish I could have a bite of cake. And so that is what I feel like I have always understood it. But my newest realization, and tell me if I'm right, is I actually think we are rewriting memories in our heads and our emotions to where when we relive them in our heads, they are more joyful, more positive, and more powerful than the actual experience was.
Our minds are the original social media filters. We absolutely whitewash it and only take the good. And we got through it. So logically, we know it was a hard time. But yes, as much as it pains me to agree and say you are right, yes, I think you are right.
But I don't actually think it's just that, which I agree with you that it's like, oh, I've selectively remembered only the good times. I actually think the good times were never as good as you remember them, because I am actively now in the good times. People would argue 6 years old is 6 to 10 is like the dream age, right? Yeah. So I get it. And I have moments of joy, of absolute pure perfection. Okay. They are not as good as I see these TikTokers and these older parents reminisce about. Like, you're going to miss that. It was the most incredible special. I would pay anything to go back. It's like, no, you're not remembering it correctly. And it's not that you're selectively remembering. It's that you have rewritten that time that your son walked up to you and hugged you over and over and over again to where the memory is more powerful than the present. So this is what I ask of you, older parents, with this in mind, if I'm right, which I'm always right. Lay off you're gonna miss it. Oh, you're blinking. They're 20. Shut up. We know that. We know that. But we also know you're misremembering. So I understand that memories are going to be different and you're going to feel different about them. But stop pressuring younger parents who are fucking drowning to just stop and just enjoy it all, because we can't.
It definitely seems like nostalgia is like a glossy haze over the memory, and also the older you get and the more you get like philosophical about being happy to go back to contentment, or rather the best you can do at a certain age is frankly have on a scale of 1 to 10, when 10 is a 4-year-old at Disneyland, you probably the best you get is about a 6.5 for the rest of your life after middle age and above, because you've got so much baggage. And so you do misremember things thinking, I just want everything to be, everything was like Disneyland, and even parenting.
Which is okay. And that I don't want to shame them for enjoying those memories. Yeah. But fucking leave us alone, because it makes me, when I see these TikToks of these like, blink and they're gone and you're going to miss it, blah, blah, blah. All you're doing is making me feel like shit. Yeah, you're not helping me. You're not making me suddenly appreciate it, which I will carry with me into the future. I just feel like shit.
It's guilt-inducing, without a doubt. Maybe that's new merch for our non-existent store, huh? Is like a T-shirt that's something along the lines of, "I know these are the best days of my life. Shut the fuck up," or "I know I'm going to miss this someday, but right now, Calgon, take me away."
I mean, that's a really modern reference for a younger listener. I'm done ranting, but I do, all kidding aside, I think about this probably more than any other aspect of parenting, because it frustrates me, and because I get frustrated that I'm not having these experiences that older parents are telling me to have in this moment. So when I'm older, I can pick these up and move them. And so I just feel like I'm net losing here. So leave us alone. And please come clean our house. I'm done. Okay, so I feel like I need to be more helpful. That was just me ranting.
Yeah, that was. I hope you feel good about this, listener. Thank you for being our therapist.
I have a dad hack of the week. I had one last week. I'm really, really killing it lately.
Yeah, you're nailing it.
We are nailing it. Our daughter is switching from the kind of toddlery, cherry cake flavored toothpaste to regular peppermint normal kid toothpaste. Yeah. And it has been a total fucking nightmare. And we talk about it in the interview coming up a little bit, but I don't know what to do, because she's like, it's spicy, it hurts, and I get her taste buds are different. Well, my brilliant husband, who is the source of all good things in my life, came up with a really great idea. He was like, this isn't peppermint. This isn't spicy. This is candy cane flavor.
Oh,
baby, when I tell you the clouds parted,
really?
She went candy cane. Now listen, 5 times out of 8, she's still kicking and screaming on the bathroom floor.
Yeah,
but those three times where she is in the mode of candy cane, it just switched a switch in her brain, and it wasn't this like fight anymore. She was like, oh, candy cane flavor. So dad hack of the week, don't call it peppermint, don't call it spicy, call it candy cane flavor.
That is pretty genius. I do think that you should bless us with a TikTok of you brushing these screaming teeth, because the way you have gone off about it today is actually truly hilarious.
With the song behind it, you're gonna miss this.
But I do think that Brian is our best contributor to content here, because his cleverness in candy cane flavor, I'll take that. That's great.
100%.
Well, there is absolutely no good news in the world right now. I'm sure that we are completely aligned on that, right? I mean, it feels... I did some searching for something to bring us up, and there's absolutely nothing. But there is something that can get me up, and that is our DILF of the week. I was looking around for somebody in the news this week, and then I thought, you know what? Let's go to an oldie but a goodie. Alexander Skarsgård. Mm-hmm. That dude, has such incredible daddy vibes. And especially because he has a movie coming out, I think, right? With Pedro Pascal that's got some serious gay vibes. In fact, didn't they like kiss at the Cannes Film Festival or something?
Probably.
Like that?
They love to just pretend to be gay to get
Exactly.
and listen, it works, right? Because like they're both hot. He's Swedish and like it's
Swedish factor, and his abs from the True Blood and whatnot. I mean, and even now, So anyway, I'm just arbitrarily giving Dilf of the Week to Alexander Skarsgård. There you go.
Oh, love him. You know what I don't love?
Tell me.
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
So this week is my week. It is the top 3 soups. Come on, we all love soup. We're all very, very old. For me, number 3. If you don't follow her, you should. It's called Here's Your Bite on TikTok, where she makes stuff and then she like hands you a bite and then it's a very weird gimmick, but her stuff is amazing. Lasagna soup.
You know what? Not on my list, but I do see that trending these days. It's coming up in my cooking feed a lot.
Oh yeah. Number 2 and number 1 are so basic, bitch. But listen, I'm basic, bitch. Number 2, Panera's cream of chicken and rice soup.
Okay.
Every time, give me a bread bowl of that, honey. And number 1, if you didn't know this already, you're not a true listener. Wendy's chili. And you, Gavin?
All right. I do have to say I had a little debate with myself of whether or not chili would be considered a soup. And we could probably do our own section of just top 3 chilies. But so funny enough, I have it written down because I do love vegetarian chili. I love vegetarian chili.
That's vegetable soup.
Sure is. But so for number 3 for me, chicken spinach curry soup. I love a good creamy curry. The spinach makes me feel like I'm getting all of my categories into one bowl, which is a great way to eat. And so I really love a chicken spinach curry soup. Shall we share our recipes for this on our newsletter?
Let's do it. We can send a pigeon to all our listener. Another old-timey ways of communicating.
Number 2, red lentil. First of all, I just love lentil soups, but I think that red lentil with some good crispy garlic bread, that's good stuff. Number 1, my favorite that I've been making for a really, really long time, and my kids don't particularly like. I'm gonna intercede here between number 1 and number 2. What I forgot to lead with is that my family refuses to eat soup. Now, that doesn't mean I don't go ahead and make it once in a while, or rather frequently, and just force it to them and say, this is dinner. But my kids, for some reason, have this idea that soup is like, one time they didn't, like something 6, 7, 8, 10 years ago. And so they just think all soup is bad. They hate soup. And in particular, they hate the idea of seafood soup, like a shrimp chowder or something like that. And so the overriding feeling in our family, unfortunately, is that soup is terrible. Pardon that that slight tangent.
That was really important, though, that you really said all that. That was important.
Number 1 is Portuguese kale soup, which is my favorite. It's got sausage in it. It makes kale palatable. Let's be honest, and it's like hearty and it's got beans and stuff, and so it makes me very happy. I love Portuguese kale soup.
Just a bunch of senior citizens talking about soup
on
public airways. Golly, who even came up with this idea? All right, what's next week?
Last week when you came up with it, that did immediately, of course, make me think of Not Waiting for Guffman, but what? Best in Show.
Yeah.
And
we both like soup.
And both liking soup. But, on that topic, nevertheless, because it is a hygge kind of time and it's January and it's cold and everything, tell me, what are your best baked warming dishes for January?
Oh my God. All right. Okay. This week we are joined by a gruesome twosome, except they're not gruesome, but they are two parents, 2 business partners, 2 homeowners, 2 fools, 2 crunchy liberal granola REI types. But most special to them is they are 2 of my friends who met in a kids' sports class, because nothing bonds strangers faster than watching your own children fail at basic coordination. They have all the things that we don't have, Gavin. smarts, looks, culture, talent, pizzazz, jobs in television. They are the hosts of the upcoming Our First House on Roku. Please welcome to the show, Mr. and Mrs. Camille Dettmore.
Welcome, y'all.
Thank you for using our appropriate names.
Yes, thank you. That's how I want all invitations sent out to me, because I usually burn the ones that say Mr. and Mrs. Zack Dettmore.
Absolutely. He doesn't own me. I own him. Yeah.
That archaic notion, yes. Let's reset it here on Gaytriarchs. Welcome, y'all. Thanks for coming and joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I mean, we've technically been here for a good 45 minutes trying to deal with everyone's mic issues. But let's start how we always start. How did your kids drive you nuts today?
Oh. Well,
we always have this like morning, this like stupid standoff about like, do you want eggs, waffles, pancakes, cereal? Like, apparently we've turned into these parents who are super indulgent with the options.
This is not, we're recording this on a Friday, not a Saturday. How on earth were you
short line? Zach got a waffle maker for himself and a new frying pan last week. So it's pancakes or waffles every day, but the kids actually don't like those.
Normally it's like, you can have oatmeal or I'm going to fucking kill myself.
Yeah.
But I've been giving a lot of options and they're just like, and then God forbid one wants a waffle. They can't get on the same page. No. I think that was it. What did I miss?
Oh, I'm still reeling from my argument about wanting to look at the claw machine on the iPad last night.
I did get that text from you guys, which was hilarious, about a claw machine on an iPad. But here, see, Zach, this is the problem. And I was the same way with you. From the beginning, I was like, this is not a diner. You don't get to order breakfast. What breakfast is breakfast. How dare you even ask for anything? And now I'm like, sir, would you like the Mickey Mouse waffles or would you like the pumpkin spice waffles?
Yeah.
And then they yell at me, and it's because there's options is why they hate us.
We did something freeing last night as parents, which I highly recommend, which was watch, what's his name?
Marcelo Hernandez's new stand-up special on from SNL. He has a Netflix hour.
Oh, yes.
Very funny.
That's trending. I've actually seen a lot of it. It's particularly the ending where he's talking about like, Hispanics have much more exciting crimes.
Better crimes,
yeah.
Yes.
Good white people.
But he has some good parenting advice.
Yeah, white people just do creepy crimes. So let's keep this in perspective. But you suggest the whole thing, huh?
Yeah, it was
the whole
great.
thing is great, but the best part was really, he sort of talks about all the physical abuse he had as a child, and talks about how he wants to repeat the cycle on how gentle parents are, basically creating kids with soft kids who, don't know how to behave in public. And he was definitely sort of pointing the finger at like
white
these
people,
privileged white kids.
Yeah.
And I felt like, I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to hit my kid, maybe, and feel better about it.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't hit, but maybe I'm just going to give myself more slack.
Might throw away stuffed animal. We'll see.
Absolutely. Finally, I feel like I have the permission to hit my kids like I've been wanting for a really long time. Because this one guy on stand-up told me I can do.
Yeah.
Who doesn't have kids.
No,
who doesn't have kids.
Exactly.
Well, definitely does not have children.
We say this all the time on the show. The best parents in the world are people without kids. They have all the great ideas. They know exactly how to fix things. They know exactly what they would do if they were parents. Exactly. No, it is hard not to watch some other cultures parent and go, God, I wish I could do that and get away with it. Like, wish I could just take a flip flop to my kid when she won't brush her teeth. just a little pop. I'm not advocating violence for children.
Of course not.
However, a flip flop would be very
just normalizing it.
Let's just normalize beating our kids with flip flops is all we're saying on this show. Wait, so tell us, you are parents. Tell us about your kids.
We have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and a girl and a boy, and they couldn't be more different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say overall respectable children. No major problems. I mean, my sister, she uses this term because she's going through a lot of IVF and having a lot of fertility issues. She refers to them as free children.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they were free children, which
relatable.
is nice. Yep.
Yes. Well, it did cost you some money for like the kombucha and like the station wagon rental, or however you guys conceived. I assume that's how you guys conceived. But yeah, that is a cost.
It's an aphrodisiac. You know that.
Have they become part of the family business yet, or are you keeping them far and away from both the cell phone for video making and also hammers and nails?
They can be involved with the hammers and nails, but they're staying away from the video.
All right.
Well, Max occasionally will say, who's our younger daughter, she will occasionally say, like, I'm making a video. And she definitely got that from me because I say that occasionally, like, I'm going upstairs to make a video.
She has a little digital camera and she just walks around with it in front of her face and like takes like selfies and videos.
Oh my
so
God.
She's emulating.
Just a 4-year-old influencer. Well, speaking of, I am actually earnestly curious about this because you are a social media presence and you are also a contractor and a carpenter and you have a show. But I'm curious, does your social media part of you, does that have much to do with the contractor part of you? Do they feed each other or are they kind of separate entities?
I don't know if I have the mental awareness to speak to that.
I guess I feel like it feels like your social media presence is its own thing, but does it give you work? Do you know what I mean? Is it reciprocal? Well, this has been great. Thank you guys so much for coming. This has been a really lively, fun interview.
It's interesting. I have a lot of sort of shame around the social media stuff, so I try not to talk about it or do it publicly too much because it feels very weird even after doing it for a decade. And I don't know.
From an outside perspective, certainly one would not be. You wouldn't be the influencer without the business, right? So it's all started. His Instagram channel all kind of started from like a broken wrist and not being able to physically do carpentry for a while and just sort of documenting it and kind of grew from there. So I feel like
they all feed each other.
You could be a contractor.
You can't do one without the other.
You could be a contractor without Instagram, but I don't think you'd be on Instagram without.
Well, especially your particular channel because it gives you legitimacy because your social media, if you don't follow him, don't do it. It's a waste of time. But it is all very carpentry related, but it's not like it's almost not like layman facing. It's very much feels industry insider. Yeah, it feels very like this is for people who actually do it, but also made in an entertaining way, which I think is unique because I think there is a lot of other kind of carpentry-esque social media people out there who are very much like, hey, if you want to renovate your bathroom, think about gray tiles or something like that. And yours is very, very niche, but still weirdly entertaining. I've been following you, and I would unfollow you in a second if you were boring. I don't care if you're my friend.
Excellent. I'll take that.
You have some variation in the feed that I've been impressed by. Both, I just obviously shit that just makes you giggle, and then some political adjacent stuff. And I'm like, oh, all right. It makes me. I mean, you are a presence on television, and I wonder, do those producers try to influence you in one direction or another, or do they ever comment? And by comment, I mean like, hey Zach, maybe a little less on the organizing your van if you
he does love to organize his van.
No, I mean, I think we work with like a legacy TV show, so a lot of the people at the top of the chain don't really watch social media and don't know what I'm up to. The political stuff is interesting because I am a liberal type of guy, but my content is followed by mostly conservatives because of the work I do, and that puts me in a place where I can potentially have a little bit more influence with people who don't agree with me.
Yeah.
But it also, to my friends, makes me seem a little bit too safe.
Yeah.
Right?
You're doing it gingerly to plant some seeds out there. I endorse that entirely. If you came out just, like rootin' tootin' Sam with all sorts of guns ablaze, that would not be helpful, frankly.
Yeah, but if you're writing a line like that, a very fucking treacherous line, you're going to disappoint everybody. No, it doesn't matter where you are on that line. You will disappoint. Everyone will think you are not quite. It is interesting how your industry does feel very much more MAGA than not. I was just thinking today, I went to a gym I go to, and it's like one of these like little strip mall, small personal training gyms. And I never noticed this before, but above the gym are like 5 flags, and it's 4 American flags already. I'm concerned. And the 5th one is one of those blue line, black and white flags. Yep. And I was like, Yeah, the fitness industry is also, I feel like what you're doing, which is like, it is mostly one thing and you're kind of riding that middle. That's got to be really hard when you're putting food on the plate matters. Like that is your income, right? Like who's paying for the
really
waffles?
Scare me in that. Yeah, it doesn't really scare me that way. I think it all comes down, it's pretty simple. Liberals are better educated. People who work out a lot, and don't stop at the point of getting the benefits, and people who are in construction typically aren't well educated. So it's just you just follow the numbers there. Like if you go to industries where people have less higher education, right? Yeah. You're going to get more conservatives.
So you're saying my fitness level says I'm smart because I've got no
yeah, because you were like, I want a bicep, but I don't really want to get any followers from it.
Yeah, see? Oh, that's the best compliment I've ever received in my entire life.
That is refreshingly direct. So speaking of refreshingly direct, can you tell us what is the gayest part about being a carpenter?
Oh, can I tell the Reddit story?
Yeah.
So,
this
on Zach's first season that he did of This First House, he would wear like a different hat in every episode just to see how far he could push it with like the fashion, because again, like fashion makes you gay apparently if you're if you're in the trades. And there was one
anything other than like what do you call high vis?
Yeah.
If you're outside like high vis.
Or a golf tee. So he wore this hat that had a rainbow on the brim of it. I think it was during June, but I don't know when the episode actually aired. And then if you go onto Reddit and you Google Zack Dettmore, This Old House, there's this thread where the first comment has been removed by Reddit as violating their community rules. And then the next comment is, no, he's not. He has a wife. He was just wearing that hat.
Please tell me it was like, is he a faggot or not? Like it was like really revolting.
No, we'll never know. We'll never know. But it is the hat that you've gotten the most DMs about, like, because people will be like, oh, where'd you get that tool belt? But they really love the hat. So there's a lot more people interested in this.
I feel like you do have, I mean, I know you personally, so maybe this isn't something you do on the show, but like you do have this like really cool like 90s adjacent fun vibe with some of your hats and some of your
That's all her. She's styling me.
Oh,
you have a stylist.
I didn't buy any of this stuff.
You did buy that hat.
I bought that hat. Yeah.
You bought that hat.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you for the representation, however you display it.
I don't know what the gayest thing is in construction. I would say typically the competent female carpenters.
Yeah. That's pretty gay. That's pretty gay. Yeah.
Yes.
There's a guy I embarrassingly follow on TikTok, and his entire feed, he's a carpet installer. His entire feed is him on his hands and knees doing the little knee kick thing that pushes him into the corner.
Oh, the knee kick.
That's crazy.
It's so
he's got
bananas.
He's got this like insane body, but he clearly doesn't work out. He's just naturally lean. And like you could just scroll for days and it's just video of him installing carpet with his shirt off. And I follow him, so that's
and he knows
too.
He knows what he's doing, and if he doesn't, he's really fucking stupid. But
listen, make your money, take our money. We're giving it to you. So you guys have a new show coming out. When does it come out?
I think it's set to air in April.
Okay,
and because it's streaming, it'll be probably on all at once kind of drop.
Tell me everything about this show. I'm very interested to know.
So the show is called This First House. It's going to be a kind of an offshoot of This Old House for millennial viewers. And I know us millennials now are kind of elderly, but we don't watch. We're not as elderly as This Old House viewers.
Most of the viewing demographic of PBS.
Exactly. Yeah. So this, the goal of the show is kind of to demonstrate how hard it is to buy a house as someone in buying their first home these days, and kind of show it in a very real way and not in an HGTV polished like, oh look, and it's done. It only costs $10. So we go through the two different family stories about the home buying process and then the home renovation process, and kind of see them struggle and see them win, and see it kind of authentically. And there's lessons and there's heart, and It should be fun.
And it's not just Tariq El Moussa saying, "Oh yeah, you can do a brand new bathroom for $6,000."
Exactly. It's pretty much us telling them what they can't do over and over and over again for 6 episodes, which
yeah, it's interesting. We're an expensive demographic, but I've sort of learned like a trade is a real job. We deserve to be compensated fairly. We deserve to have respect, but people's expectation is that a bathroom renovation should cost, between $6,000 and $15,000. And in our market right now, Camille and I haven't done a bathroom for less than $39,000 in years, but we've done up to $160,000 bathrooms. So, wow. We got a big, and that, we're working for luxury clients. So obviously, we're not talking about commodity, or rentals. So, we're a little bit elitist in the area we live in, the country, and the type of clients we serve in the business. But, the expectation across the board at all income brackets is that things should cost less and just keep getting prices from contractors till you get the right price. And then just, blame the contractor when you're not satisfied. And it's like, well, you picked this person based off of cost. So, I think that's a big thing. It's educating people like, hey, you can max out your borrowing amount, get a mediocre house, and just live with a mediocre house. Like that's the reality of a lot of people who are buying their first house. And, hopefully don't get canceled immediately because the content's boring.
Because all you say is, no, you can't do that. No, you can't afford
that.
No.
So what came first, the television or the contracting?
Sure. So Camille was in television for 10 years?
Yes, I did. Television was my first career. I grew up on a farm and I was really into the arts. And then when I went to college, I went for arts management because I didn't want to actually be an artist, but I wanted to be in the arts.
Smart move.
And then I just ended up in television and loved it and also hated it. And then quit when we had our first child, which was also the pandemic.
But wait, you're skipping over one of the best parts. You were a producer on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart and Trevor Noah. That's huge.
That's pretty awesome.
That's correct.
It's a big deal.
Yes.
You're a BFD.
Was it a dream job, or as you look back on it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, I was an intern there, and another part of the story, the reason I was an intern there is Zach's dad was the graphic designer and the head of the art department there for a very long time and helped me get that internship. So thanks to nepotism, I did get a dream job.
I mean, that's what makes the world go round.
Right.
Yeah. And I basically was a carpenter since I started in the trade at like 11, did it all the way through college. And then, like Camille said, I got an injury mountain biking. And so I was just sort of taking pictures. And it was about maybe 15 years ago that there was no one on social media doing construction posts.
Oh, really?
And I sort of found this community of guys who were interested in getting better, and we would share tips. And that's sort of why I have a social media following, is because I was probably one of the first people in the door. Yeah. And I was just ahead of the curve, the whole time. And then by the time it really blew up like it did now, at least I've got a little bit of base to keep me sort of above the competition. And then that led to me networking with someone who eventually got a job at this old house. And so when they worked with us, I think Camille's running the business and being able to integrate with the TV show made us very attractive and easy to work with, because she would sort of temper my, like, I'm going to tell that fucking guy to go in the dumpster and pull that shit. This is not how my job's like. And she'd be like, whoa. This is a different business. And so I think we were attractive to them because I was at least more housebroken than the average contractor, right? Because Camille was like telling me how to navigate a lot of these situations.
Like the inefficiencies of television don't translate well to a job site where you're trying to like get to the finish line, and they're like, actually, could we just do that? Maybe you could take 2 days to do a 1-day job. And,
wow.
Yeah, like the margins are so thin, right, on what we do. So it's just like you're asking people who don't make a lot of money to lose more money. Like, can't you just work with us? And
Especially as they're like, can you just hold the hammer there while we move some lights? And you're like, are you fucking kidding me? And they're like, we'll just get rid of that shot. Also, when you were telling the story about starting social media with your hand injury, I was thinking about your most recent hand injury. You have had multiple hand injuries. You just had wood removed from your hand the other day.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a dangerous profession.
I mean, it is, but so is sitting on your butt all day long in front of a computer.
But he broke his
Why'd you look
wrist
at me
mountain
like that?
biking.
That was really mean. Really kind of aggressive, actually, the way you say it. I can't. Also, I
go to the gym.
I also can't stop thinking about pooping in $100,000 bathroom. Like, what would that feel like to be sitting on $100,000 toilet?
Warm.
It better be
heated. Yeah.
Heated.
Okay, so you guys are parents, and what I love, one of the many things I love about you guys is you guys.
We don't make it look easy.
You don't make it look easy. You show us the work. So I have a different impossible question. What is the best and what is the worst part of being parents? If you can narrow it down.
I think I know what the best is.
What's the best?
You can go first.
So over the holidays, we have some family, and when you have family around your kids, they will indulge your kids in stories and give them eye contact and sort of give them the floor at the table a little bit more. Yeah, give them attention, right? And it's so cool to see the kids' faces light up when they're the focus and they get to be treated like an adult. And like no one aside from close friends and family really does that for your kids. And I think that's when I like peek out. I'm like, oh, look at the like wide-eyed animation, especially because our kids are shy. Sort of seeing that come out is definitely like tip top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it goes down from there. You can only go down from there.
You just peaked.
Yeah.
Just
I think it's also really cool to see as they get older. Like our kids are pretty young still, but we can look back at videos of like when our son was 2, and we see his personality is exactly the same as it was then.
Yes.
He has the same mannerisms, and you realize like how they're just such unique people, and they start out exactly who they are, and you get to like witness that is really, really special.
Yeah, and it's only possible looking back. I know what you're talking about, Camille, where like you look back at that 2-year-old video and you're like, oh, I totally see him in there. But you can't do it the other way, even though we try, right? We all try to go, okay, like what is Wilder going to look like at 8? Maybe like it's just not possible. But when you're at 8 and you look back at 6, you're like, oh, there he is. I can totally see it. Okay, now the fun part. What's the worst part?
I think that
The relentlessness of it.
the relentlessness and the thing that hurts every day is sort of we'll have a tumultuous bedtime where the kids are they're just moving the goalpost until tears happen.
Yeah.
There's no logic or reason that can be assorted to the situation.
Leaving the room till there's tears.
Yeah, and then inevitably all goodwill and positive energy has been spent on clients, on problem solving, on parents, and the kids just get the worst at that point. And then like Camille and I will return to each other, and we're just like,
man, I suck.
Yeah, I suck. I know this wasn't the right decision, and we screwed it up, and we did it the last, however many nights it's been like this, and there's like self-loathing wrapped up in that. And I know I could have done better, but the cycle repeats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never the kid's fault, as we know. It's the worst part is us screwing it up and being shits. And but guess what? You are not alone in that self-loathing. That is for sure. We all.
No, you're totally alone. No, you're totally alone. I never self-loathe, and bedtimes are so easy, especially now that we've transferred to regular toothpaste for my daughter.
How's that going?
When I tell you, I hold her like a prisoner of war. I manipulate her jaw down as she's screaming as I'm brushing her teeth because it's too spicy. But we have decided that like we are officially out of the baby toothpaste that tastes like grape soda. And so we're like, fuck it, we're doing and it's not even like I'm giving her Sensodyne or something. I'm giving her like children's birth
use this Listerine.
Yeah, exactly. Just chugging act, But I literally the other day I was penning her down. I was like, I felt like I was attacking her to brush her teeth, and she's sobbing, and then she comes to me for comfort, and I immediately feel like a piece of fucking shit that she's coming to me for comfort after the attack I just did on her. And then I'm like, no, bitch, it's your fault. You're the one who you should be brushing your teeth. And then we watch TikToks and go to bed. And that's the circle of life. That's fair. All right. So you guys are uniquely qualified to answer this question. What are some you work with first-time homeowners and first-time renovators a lot. What is like the most common thing that you wish you could improve for people who are buying their first house or they are doing their first renovation? That's like a mistake they always make. And man, I wish people would just figure this out.
I think with renovations, I think the thing we run into a lot of times is that people are so excited to get started on their renovation that they forget that they have to make a lot of decisions first. So they're
in a rush to start. They're not in a rush to finish.
Yeah, they're very eager to get going. And then we are like, well, did you pick your windows? Did you pick your appliances? Did you pick any of this stuff? And they're like, oh, I'm working on it. I'm almost there. And then there's frustration when the job isn't finished when they want it to be done. And I think it's always very helpful for homeowners, for contractors, for designers, for that planning process to take the time that it needs to take so that your renovation goes quickly and as smoothly as possible.
Yeah, I think it's we have a spreadsheet we just drafted up for a project, and it's probably like 300 different selections from grout color to grout choice.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to look at a homeowner in the face and say, like, when this job is done, you will have made these decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why the urgency to make the decision at the last possible moment, right? Why can't we do that now? And then I think the other thing that really annoys me about first-time home buyers is everyone is in a big rush to sort of assert dominance over their house, right? Their friend who, has a hotter husband and who has, more money, got a mid-century modern house. So they're going to try and, take this colonial and make it a mid-century modern house because they're going to, because that's what they think is cool. And you're never going to win, right? You don't have enough money to turn a colonial into a mid-century modern house. So understanding that if you work with your house, you can have something that's more beautiful, even if it's not your taste, right?
God, that's so true. I think about the renovations I've done in my life, and you're like, oh, it would be, like you said, it would be so cool to do mid-century here. But if the house is a colonial, like you're gonna have to knock it down. You're gonna have to maybe and working with the house. And I always like to do, like, if you find old shit under the, I remember our old house, we renovated the bathroom, and between the floor joists was a bunch of dirt and stuff, but we found these old tiny little tiles. I don't know when they were. I don't know if it was the original bathroom floor. I don't know how many bathroom floors they had gone through, but like it was such a cool like starting point. So my penultimate question is, now as parents going through a renovation, do you have any like recommendations? Because you guys have done this multiple times and I've witnessed it. Do you have any recommendations for parents who are about to embark on a renovation?
Make sure your Disney account and your Hulu account and your PBS Kids account are all up to date. And
iPads are charged.
Get a bucket for them to sit on.
Yeah, I think understanding that the process is draining from a decision-making standpoint and a financial standpoint. So making sure you're like carving that time out. Mm-hmm. And if it's a live-in remodel, understanding that you can't ask your whole team of people working in your house to stop hammering when your kid's napping.
Oh, yeah.
So plan for that. Because I feel like the parenting thing, your life is so fragile with all these little schedules and emotions, inviting like a slew of workers into your space, can really make life hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah. I feel like it's all, for me at least, it is very much echoing all of that like fragility that I feel with like kids' schedules and everything is not necessarily the reality of how it is now, but it's this like weird PTSD I'm carrying from infancy, when all of that shit did matter, when the slightest breeze could ruin your entire fucking day. And I feel like once we graduated out of that around 2 or 3, I still kept it. You guys know this more than anybody. We're very protective of nap times. It is 1 p.m. Our kids are going down. We're not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing anything. And it's not because they can't miss their nap or they can't sleep later or whatever. I think it's because I'm trying to protect my sanity from those days in infancy, month 3, month 4, when I was literally like, I can't do this anymore. I am so dead on the inside. I am so empty as a human being that I don't even know who I am anymore. And I don't want to do this anymore. And I can't do this anymore. And so when I figured out, oh, now they're sleeping. And now if we do this, we turn this fan on, then you become a psychopath, but you're trying to protect yourself from going to the crazy place again. But I mean, we have skipped many naps and it's totally fine, except unless you're going on a Disney cruise, then naps are, you need to take your nap, because you're going to have listeners listened to my story last week about carrying my screaming daughter into the Orlando International Airport and screaming at her in a public toilet. And the guy next to me sitting on the toilet goes, Jesus Christ. So that was a lot of fun. Gavin, welcome back. Thank you. We lost Gavin because he lives in the middle of the woods and it was windy. Yep.
I live on a dirt road. I have chickens and the wind was blowing and my internet is completely out, but we're using my phone to keep recording, which is amazing. So I'm coming in maybe at the end and maybe in the middle of nothing, but I have a question still. I'm so curious, returning a little bit to putting together contracting in TV. Tell us some other ways that the TV affects your work. Like, for both of you, do they ever make you super, say, self-conscious, or are you even more confident? Do you have a TV personality versus a home podcasting personality? And do they ever stop and script you and say, be funnier? Tell us a little insider contracting on TV dittos.
Gavin, that was 35 questions. Can you focus it to one?
How does TV change your contracting, and tell us the insider story?
There we go.
They definitely tell us to be less funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think
really?
we're
so funny.
We're just so hilarious.
But you guys are funny, but you're also coming from, Zach, you're coming from a show that is notoriously I don't know what the polite word is. It's very, very muted, very subtle.
Professional.
It's professional, but it's purposefully dry, right? It's not Chip and Joanna Gaines, right? Yeah.
I would say the major thing is, in the work we do, typically there's a client paying for it, right? These TV shows aren't funding anything. So we still have a client to serve that pays our bills, that keeps us in waffles. And so making sure we're honoring the timeline and we're picking up the slack that the TV show is slowing us down is probably the hardest thing as a project manager. Because the expectation of the homeowner, we can't just say like, well, we're going to burn 5 days over the course of this month, for content generation. Like it has to be made up by stacking in more trades on top of each other, which no one likes. So I think that's sort of stressful for me. And then as someone who's not an actor or has any training, the only thing that's helped me is I sort of get tunnel vision when the camera's there, and I try and just not acknowledge that people are watching me, because that makes me super panicky.
Yeah, that definitely was a skill that took a little while. For me, at least, it was extremely stressful at first. But then, you suddenly realize you're tuning it all out.
Yeah, I got to do this camera thing over the course of a decade or more, but Camille went from no on-camera work to hosting her own TV show in this year, right? In like less than a year.
Yeah.
That is something that you can't consider. I mean, Gavin, I think you would agree, even when you're performing on a stage, you can't be like, there are 1,300 people staring directly at me. Oh. You have to just be like, I'm doing the thing. When you're talking to camera, you're not seeing the millions of people behind there. You're just literally in a room with 5 guys and a boom or whatever. Because if you, like you said, if you do ingest that, you're going to go fucking crazy.
The homeowners have to approve this, but do they frequently think, ooh, this will be so cool? And then within a few weeks, they're like, never mind, this is a complete pain in the ass.
There's a lot of legal things that they have to sign. So I don't know if they're coming to us with their like, can we bail out of this? But in general, we try to, like anything doing anything successful, managing expectations, like giving them the good, bad, the ugly before they sign, and making sure that we're accurately portraying the situation. But like a general contractor you don't have to have any skills at all aside from problem solving, right? You could subcontract 100% of the work out, and all you're doing is conflict resolution and scheduling. And so there's a lot of layover, you do a lot of spouse mediation, in the work we do. And
so this is parenting, conflict
Correct.
resolution, scheduling, and spouse mediation.
But no inherent skills whatsoever.
it pays better than parenting, I'll tell you that.
Okay, speaking of parenting, landing this plane, tell us one of those parenting horror stories. How did you earn your parenting badge? When did it all go wrong?
Let me see. So hard to pick one from yesterday.
Yesterday, right?
I mean, I could just play some of the videos on the show. Honestly,
Yeah, you could. You could some screaming, stomping videos. No, this was like maybe a few months ago. It's more of a gross story than anything. So I don't know if David, if you've had this experience, potty training a boy and a girl, very different. Mm-hmm. We potty trained them both at 2, and it was relatively easy for the boy, and it was super easy for the girl. And but the boy older, he still needs to let us know every time he needs to go to the bathroom, and he still needs a lot of like support in the like. He needs like an empathetic ear that he has to go poop. The girl's like uses the bathroom whenever she wants, right? Anyway, she asked me to help her, and I went into the bathroom and I was not paying any attention. I thought she was done. I went to wipe her and she pooped into my hand. No, like, and I
had a nice warm poop.
Just right in, and then I didn't want to make her feel embarrassed or bad.
Good for you.
So I had to just dump it into the toilet.
I mean, what are you going to do?
Carry on, and she was like, "Mom, what? Why are you washing your hands for so long?"
Like. Because my soul is
and crying.
I'm sure I have not had this experience, but I have caught the shit of an infant in my hand, where you're like,
right.
It's like you're waiting for change from the bodega lady. It's like your hand is just out, and it's just this warm piece of shit. But something about like a 4-year-old, I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're trying to put on this face of like, we're not shaming our bodies and everything, and on the inside, you're like, get this shit out of my hand. That's a nice one. That's a good one. Zach, what about you?
Yeah, I don't know. Like earning your stripes almost implies that I made the right decision in this moment. I can only think of situations where I acted poorly.
What about the spit up?
Ooh, yeah.
No, our kids, they both spit up a lot. Like we had a lot of concerns, like how are these kids getting any calories?
Just vomit, like covered every surface.
And at a certain point, we noticed our dog was getting larger and larger and larger.
And stopped eating.
And then eventually he stopped eating. But he just kept getting bigger and bigger.
Like his harness didn't fit on him anymore.
We couldn't buckle his harness, his small dog. But there was so much vomit in our house that he was going around cleaning up. And it's all like high fat.
Yeah, it's breast milk.
Milk, right? And the dog was just getting bigger and bigger. So it was like a good 4 months we just stopped feeding the dog. To get him,
had to put him on it like a diet.
Yeah,
like, kick him out of the room every time.
And we'd be like, "Go, get away!" This dog was just getting enormous.
It is not often on this podcast I am without words. That is also the fact that before we started recording, your dog was puking, I believe, in your slipper, Zach. So
yes.
There's something.
That was
going
breast
on.
milk. It wasn't Camille's, but they'll keep it around for emergencies.
That's the only way Zach will drink his coffee, with just a little squirt of breast milk in there.
I just haven't canceled the subscription yet. It's it's on my list.
I feel like what you've done is you've created this like ecologically friendly circle. Really, is what you've done, and you've made. There's no cleanup. There's no trash. It's zero waste.
Yeah.
Really, you were forward thinking is what you were doing.
Sustainability at its core.
Oh, sustainability. Well, Zack and Camille Dettmore, thank you for demeaning yourself by being on our stupid little podcast. This first house is coming out on Roku, maybe in April. We don't know. The hosts of the show don't know. So just stay tuned, and we'll tell you when it comes out. Thank you.
Well,
thank you so much.
Thanks,
we
y'all.
love listening to the podcast,
Yeah.
and it's a pleasure to be here.
You don't listen to this podcast. Stop it.
Yes, we do.
We did.
Oh, okay.
We have.
Yeah.
We did. We have. Legally,
we haven't listened to the same episodes, but individually we've listened.
Legally, Your Honor, we have listened to an episode of the show.
If you look on my phone.
But don't go into the deleted photos part. Just look
Well, here's the deal. If I tell you if I keep like a little bit of doubt that we've never listened to it, it really plays into our relationship dynamic better.
I honestly respect that more than anything you've ever said. I'm respecting the game, the volley, the power struggles. I get it. I totally respect it.
The real friendship is the resentment along the way.
Can I stitch that on a pillow, Camille?
Yeah, of course.
So my something great is a video that's been floating around for a couple weeks, and I know we've talked about heated rivalry quite a bit, even though I haven't seen it. But there was a video of Connor's story as a child. I think he was like maybe 12 or 13, and he's starting his YouTube channel. And it's your typical bullshit, right? He's like, hey, I'm Connor. Here's it's cringy in the way that everything from being 12 is cringy. Yep. And I saw him talking about it, and he was talking about that they were asking, like, why didn't you just delete it or get rid of it or, bury it, because you're a star now, and it's kind of embarrassing because he's very flamboyant and it's very kind of cringy. And he was like, I've learned to love that kid. So I was like, let's leave it up. And I just fucking love that, in a time where I think shame exists in a lot of different ways. And we have talked about, as parents, trying to get rid of a lot of our shame for our kids. Kind of amazing to be like, yeah, there's this cringy video of me as a child. It's me. I love that kid. And he turned out to be this kid with the cakes of the gods. So my something great this week is Connor's story.
The kids are going to be all right. Yeah. That video is pretty cringe, but good for him. I completely agree with you. For my something great, it reminds me of you giving me shit about my Christmas cards last week. Mm-hmm. And I still send a letter out mainly to people that I just am not in great contact with, except frankly at Christmas. And I'm still in touch with some of my mom's friends and whatnot. I don't know what any of their politics are, and these are not necessarily people I know very well, but I do send them a letter with an update, right? Very old fashioned and old lady me. Well, ageism aside, classic. So I put my letter this year through my new best friend, which is my AI Claude. I use occasionally Anthropic it's been fascinating. I mean, I don't know how much time you've spent with AI generation, but it is amazing. I put my letter through, and in it, I put a paragraph about hey, I don't mean to belabor what's going on in the world, but I am a gay man raising a family at this time, yada, yada, yada. And if you ever feel like you want an ambassador, because I'm reaching out to senior citizens in the Midwest sometimes who live on dirt roads, well, kind of like I do. And so what do you think of this letter? And not the content, but whatnot. And my AI said, this is a really heartfelt, wonderful letter that I think will actually change minds of people if they read it. And I'm like, what? Stop with the compliments. That's nonsense. But then I wrote my little AI and I said, if I had written a MAGA letter to MAGA people, what would you have said? And the Claude, Anthropic Claude, whatever, said, I don't have political opinions, and I am not actually espousing yours or anybody else's, but I am programmed to celebrate humanity. And that is what I see in your letter, you celebrating your humanity and trying to spread that to others. So I am enthusiastic. I'm programmed to be enthusiastic about that. And I wouldn't have been enthusiastic about a MAGA Republican letter. And I thought, that's something great.
Are you having a personal relationship with your AI?
I'll bring it to you next week. And that's our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at David FM Vaughn everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on Lars and the Real Girl.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll smell you next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.